Hey guys, so it's the Tyson family here, and today I'm just going to. I've been trying to upload videos on Azaleas' birth. I tried it about 4 times and it has not worked, so I'm gonna try and condense it down to a better amount of time for it to upload. Alright, so let's get started off by on January 28th. I was bored and I told my fiance to call out of work because I wanted to go to the hospital. I lied to him and I told him that I was having pelvic pressure. So then when we got to the hospital, they put me in triage and everything, and then they was like, oh, you're 5 centimeters dilated. I said, I'm 5 centimeters dilated. Now, if you don't know who I am personally, then what you should know is that I have fast labor. So they was like, we're going to keep you this and the third. We're going to take you down to ultrasound and see what ultrasound was to do and everything. So when I went down to ultrasound, Azalea, she wasn't breathing on her own. When babies breathe on their own, you'll see their stomach expand and contrast and stuff like that. But Azalea didn't want to do that. It took her about 8 minutes because they only have an 8-minute time frame. If they don't breathe on their own in that 8-minute time frame, then the ultrasound tech has to fail the baby for the test. So it got to 7 minutes and 55 seconds when she wanted to breathe on her own for 30 seconds. So she passed that. So then they admitted me or whatever, and I went down to my room. I stopped contracting. Then they gave me the Picatin, I believe it's called. I'm not too sure. They gave me the Picatin. I asked them to give me the good stuff that they gave me with Tide. They was like, no, because you're a fast contractor and we don't need those meds going through the baby, this and the third. So then I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So then the doctor was like, your water isn't breaking on its own, so we're gonna have to break it for you, this and the third. I said, okay, cool. So then it was like, so do you want the epidural or do you not? So then I was like, I'll take that epidural because I know after your water break, then like the contractions are terrible. So I got to my room around like 5 or 6 in the afternoon. And so then they came and broke my water around like 7:04, 7 something, I forget. It's all up on my Facebook page. But they broke my water around like 7:04, and then they broke my water. The contractions started coming. I wasn't really feeling all of the contractions, but they were enough to make me moan, like ouch, like something like that in that nature. So then they had me have the peanut ball, and after the peanut ball, they kept switching me side to side. Then they had me on my side with my elbow back, with my leg up, one of my legs up, and they had me laying like that. They came in at 10:03 and changed me into that position. They came back at 10:07 and told me that the baby didn't want to stay on the monitor. So then they checked me and they was like, we see a head. Y'all see a head. So I don't know why, but every time I'm about to push and they be like, oh, let's push, I start crying. So my fiance recorded it, like recorded my whole birth and whatever. She came out in 1 minute and 23 seconds. I pushed. She came out at 10:10 p.m. weighing 7 pounds 3 ounces, 20 inches long. She was longer than her brother but smaller than her brother. She came out very high yellow. So for vaginal, you have to stay inside the hospital for 2 days with no complications. So I stayed inside the hospital for 2 days. The second day, like after when I'm supposed to when I'm about to get up and go home, they're like, oh, you can't go home yet. Well, you can, but you can't because the baby has jaundice and we have to treat her for jaundice. I mean, her levels aren't high, which you can go home, but it's up to you. And I said, no, let's just get it all done and over with right now. Like, I do not want to have to come back because jaundice is something that you don't want to play about. So, they had her underneath the blue UV light for 8 hours. It was long 8 hours because, you know, then the baby wants to eat and everything. So they had her under the UV light for 8 hours. Then we came home. It was an upsetting, like, roller coaster type stuff because Ty couldn't be there all the time. And even when I was pushing, I was thinking about Ty. That's my baby. So he only came up for one day and then he started terrorizing everything. When we first came home, he wasn't really into her. He wanted to smack her, push her, like, get off my mom, who are you, go back where you came from. He wasn't very happy about having a baby inside the house. But now, as the days are going, she is 2 months and 1 day today. As the days are going, no, she is 2 months and 2 days today. As the days are going, he grows a closer bond. Now he starts to give her boa, which is the most cutest thing. He hugs her every morning and he gives her a kiss, and then he goes on and push her and go on about his business. He do not want to be beat. So overall, my pregnancy in the beginning was terrible. It was so bad to the point where I was throwing up. I was losing weight. I started out at 135. In the middle it was 110. Then it stayed in between like 124, and then I got back up to like 135. So I really didn't lose any weight during my pregnancy, and I really didn't gain any weight during my pregnancy either. It was a very tough roller coaster. If I can, I would do it all over again the same exact way. But what I can say is that the epidural kills me. Like, it really kills my back. But I think I'm gonna stick with the epidural every time I give birth because I do not like the pain. Even though I didn't know I was in labor when I first went into the hospital, I knew when I hit a certain amount of centimeters, I was going to have a fit. So that's Azalea's birth story. And Ty's birth story is coming up next. So if you want to watch it, click the link, like, share, and subscribe. And if y'all have any questions, y'all can always inbox me to get more into detail about my birth. Oh, trust me, y'all can inbox me. I love talking about it because I didn't mention everything. I didn't mention how I went into the bathroom, did jumping jacks before they even admitted me, just so they could admit me and all that other good stuff. I didn't tell y'all all that because I need to keep it short and classy. So talk to you guys in the next video.